The iconic villain Terry Silver from The Karate Kid Part 3 and Cobra Kai surprisingly almost never existed, which could have seen a very different future for the Karate Kid saga. When the character was introduced way back in 1989 in the third film as the main antagonist, the character received praise but was seen as a cartoonish villain by some critics and audiences. Still, Terry Silver proved to be an intimidating presence not just in the Karate Kid movie, but also in Cobra Kai over 30 years later. Terry Silver was introduced as John Kreese's best friend from the Vietnam War, who went on to co-found the Cobra Kai dojo with him. Kreese had saved Silver's life many times during the war, which led Terry to vow to be there for him whenever he needed his help. Terry Silver is arguably the best fighter in the Miyagi-verse, but he also went on to grow his wealth by founding a toxic waste company. When he learns that Kreese had to close Cobra Kai because he lost all of his students, Silver agrees to help him get back at Daniel LaRusso and Mr. Miyagi. By the time he returns in Cobra Kai, he's managed to reinvent himself and move on from his friendship with Kreese. He realizes he missed his previous life and agrees to help his old friend finish what we started, ultimately betraying Kreese at the end of Cobra Kai Season 4 and taking over the dojo himself. The Karate Kid Part 3 received negative acclaim and was ultimately seen as a rehashing of plot points that were already in the first two films. One of the strongest aspects of the Karate Kid Part 3 was Terry Silver, who was a last-minute addition to the script. Martin Kove's John Kreese was originally set to be the film's main antagonist, but Kove had scheduling conflicts while filming the short-lived science fiction television series Hard Time on Planet Earth. Thomas Ian Griffith's Terry Silver was then added to the film as an old war buddy of Kreese, portraying an over-the-top cheesy 80s villain that was hopped up on cocaine and had no business getting involved with terrorizing a teenager before a karate tournament. While his plan to open more Cobra Kai dojos and ruin the lives of Daniel LaRusso and Mr. Miyagi ultimately failed, it caused Silver to reevaluate his own life. How Terry Silver became the best Miyagi-verse villain after Karate Kid 3. Terry Silver did not plan to return to the glory days with Kreese and continue their mission to open dojos all over the San Fernando Valley. But after Kreese comes back into his life and gets in his head, Silver realizes how much he missed his old life and agrees to help run Cobra Kai again but has an ulterior motive. Silver's machinations occur from behind the scenes, with him manipulating people like Stingray to do his dirty work, or when he goes behind Kreese's back to beat up Johnny Lawrence. He manipulates his students and pushes them past their limits in order to make them stronger, but also crueler, something Daniel doesn't forget decades later. Silver finally becomes the Karate Kid franchise's greatest villain by betraying its former greatest antagonist in Kreese, framing him for assaulting Stingray and getting him sent to prison in the Season 4 finale. Introducing a menacing villain like Terry Silver was one of the greatest surprises of the Karate Kid saga. Seeing his return in Seasons 4 and 5 of Cobra Kai as a more intimidating version of his past self from the Karate Kid Part 3 makes him one of the greatest characters in the Miyagi-verse and certainly the best antagonist. Without this character, Cobra Kai Season 4 would have been wildly different. It's a certainty that Terry Silver will make Season 5 even more interesting.
With a gentle touch you tell me